Hey guys, welcome to the first Beat of the Month contest winner mixing mastering session. Long title, but it's also a long video. So the first Beat of the Month has been won by Dr. Tom and Jacko, and I've got their project in here right now and I'm going to show you everything I do from start till the end. I hope you enjoy it and sorry for the long video. So let's take a look at the material we have to work with. So at the top there's my template. I will get back to that in a minute. But first of all, let's look at everything they sent me. So it's over here. It starts with the kick, of course, on top. I already ordered everything because that's really boring. I don't want to bother you with that. From top to the bottom, we've got the kick. So we've got two layers of kick. This one. And this one. And together they are. And we've got some bass lines over here. I think this is also a bass line. Yeah. And we've got some percussion, of course. Pretty cool. And then we have the melody, and there is a slight problem with the melody. Directly after winning the contest, I contacted Tom, first of all to ask if I had the permission to show everybody what I'm doing over here, and second of all just to check what he was going to export and stuff. And he directly said to me that when he made the project, his laptop crashed or his hard drive crashed or something happened. That's why you should always use backups. He lost the main drop. What he did, he cut it out from a bounce he still had and he put it into the session. So that's what we have over here. It's actually the full drop in a stereo channel. And he layered it with a kick and some extra snares. This is where things get difficult, and I always say to people, challenge me, but this is going to be a really big challenge because if you can hear that the clap isn't loud enough. I'm happy that there is a layered kick. And also it looks like it's mastered. As you can see in the meters over here, it looks like it's already some sort of mastered or a lot of compression is on there. So there's not much I can do in there, but I'm going to try to fit it together. So there's the biggest challenge of this project. Let me see. A build-up. We've got that separated, so maybe we can do something with that sound or something. Then a massive layer for the break. A few more layers. What is this? I don't know. Some strings are in there. We've got also cool. And from here it's all noises. So from here till the bottom it's noises. So on top of my session are the two main files the client sent me. So it's a master and I think this is the same file, but this one is a bit lower in volume. I really cannot hear a difference in sound. So yeah, let me quickly run through the template. I'm mixing the track over here. So I'm going to send their channels to the console, and from the console back there will be a channel. Let me show it to you. For instance, there's the kick. So the kick goes through the console to 7 and 8. That's what I'm also going to do. It will get back on input 1, which is subgroup 1 on the console. From there it goes into my groups. So I like to group everything because that can make things a lot faster. I also use colors to get a better overview. So we've got a few groups: kicks, bass lines, percussions. That all speaks for themselves, I think. We've got drop synths and break synths, and what I mean with those is all the synths and melodies that are playing in the drop, so the lead drop melody, but also sometimes a backup, go in the drop synth section, and the break synths will be actually the rest of the synths. And I want these in two separate groups so I can really easily connect the break and the drop together. Sometimes I end up with a really loud drop and a not so loud break, and they are too far apart from each other. I can quickly change this with, one fader, up and down, done. It's all about making things easy. Then I've got a vocal group, so all dry vocals go in there. This track doesn't have vocals. For the next time, you know what I'm on about when things get purple or pink. One of the two. No, it's pink. It's pink, right? This color is pink. I also got a vocal FX group, and I've also got an FX instrumental group. And those are actually for the same things. Delays, reverb, choruses, all kinds of shit that I like to put on there. But most of the times it's reverb and delay. I like to separate those from the original sounds. First of all, because most of the time when you put a master chain on it and you make it really loud, the reverb will come up. This way I can easily just turn it down a bit. The second thing that I like to separate the vocal and the instrumental FXs from each other is when I need to make an instrumental bounce or an a cappella bounce or something, I can just simply click these two buttons and every vocal thing is off. And the other way around, when I just mute everything and only the vocals, then I can make a cappella bounce. So really quickly. Then we've got the red one, which stands for risers and hits. I think it speaks for themselves. It's all those swooshes and you know what I mean. So these groups are all controlled by a VCA. That's what it's called in Pro Tools. And what the VCA does, I'm using my small controller over here. I can, quickly just turn all the groups down, because all those groups summed together sometimes give a bit of a high output. And as long as the groups aren't clipping, it's easier to just pull down the groups than it is to pull down everything in the mix, which is automated and does all kinds of crazy stuff. So I never make things clip in the group, and then I can level everything with the VCA. From all the groups we go into the no din bus, and this is also where I listen to during the mixing. No din stands for no dynamics. It's got a phase scope on it. It's a TDM phase scope, so I don't have any delays in terms of sample delays or something like that. And I can quickly see if everything is in phase or out of phase, and if some things go wrong. I put this thing on my second monitor, so it's always there when I need it. I don't look that much at it, most of the time you already hear that something isn't right, and you can use the phase scope to check it. More about mono compatibility in a video. I will link it somewhere over here or below here or in the top corner. Then I've got the master din. So from the no din we go with an aux to the next bus, which is a master dynamics bus. So this one is pre-fader, 0 dBs. So if I'm fooling around with these faders, I'm never influencing the master dynamics. What I do most of the time is when I master a track, I tend to put down the master din so I can compare the mix with the master without any volume difference, because I don't want my ears to be tricked by the volume difference. But doing so can result into bouncing the wrong thing to the client, and by using auxes to route everything, I will never have that problem. Or never is a big word, but the chance will be much lesser that I make a mistake. So the master din, it's already set up for what I use the most, and it's all inactive. I like really snappy and quick Pro Tools interfaces, and it's not that my Mac isn't powerful enough, but I know that if you don't use that much plugins or none at all, it's much faster. My master bus always starts with the most obvious thing, which is this low cut filter at 20 Hz. It's already set up. Let me make it inactive again. I've got my multiband compressor already set up to the most used attack and release settings for every band, and I've also got my favorite crossover frequencies in there already. Then I've got a small isotope exciter. I don't use it that much since I have the tape machine. I'd rather bounce it through the tape machine to get that excitement, but sometimes the ozone sounds better. Then I've got two limiters. I can choose between them. I've got the FabFilter Pro L and the Ozone 6 Maximizer. Sometimes I choose one, sometimes I choose the other. Depends on the material I work with. Sometimes I use them both. So I first do the Pro L and then the Ozone Maximizer, just to get 1 extra dB or 1.5 extra out of it. And last but not least, there is my isotope inside. So there it is. It's configured pretty simple. Spectrum analyzer over here. I don't look at the spectrum analyzer that much. It's just more like, you know, I listen to it, I think it's alright, and then the spectrum analyzer gives me confidence that my ears aren't fooling me. Got a spectrogram also, so if there are some small, you know, bleepjes or something in there that doesn't belong there, I can quickly see at which frequency it is and remove them. I've got a sound field so I can see how wide it is, and this is actually the most important thing. It's my level metering or loudness metering. So I measure in LOFS and I can directly see how loud the track is, and I can also make a goal. So I can say, for instance, I want to make this 7.5 and the number will turn red, but you will see this later. The number will turn red as soon as I hit that goal. Let's disable all this shit. Make inactive. So next, from here, from the master, it goes into my print bus. I like to print everything in the session, so when I do revisions with a client, the old revisions are also in the session. What I do, I make a playlist for it, a playlist in Pro Tools, so if there's audio in here, for instance this, and I make a new playlist, and I call this, you know, next revision, then it will store it, you know, behind the channel, so I can get it back by just going to the old playlist. And then there is the client mix, and I really like to have these 4 channels on the faders over here, on these 4 faders, so I can quickly switch between everything. So normally I'm listening to the node in when mixing, then I'm listening to the master dynamics, then I'm listening to the print bus, of course, and when I'm comparing it to the client's mix, I can quickly just, you know, change my master buses. So that's what I'm doing, and I can quickly level it so it's not too loud or too soft. Also, when I'm doing revisions, I can, when a client said, I want the hi-hat a bit louder, I can turn it up. But I also compare through what I'm doing and what I did. So what did the last version and what did I just do? And then I can really hear if the hi-hat has been turned up at all or not, or if it's been, you know, swallowed up by the master. So that being said, I hope you understand it. And let's start with doing something. Let's really do something. If you got some questions, drop them below. I will answer them all if I can. So right now we are going to start with the first parts I want to mix. And well, I just routed the kick already, so that's done. Then we've got the bass lines. I think there's a wrong note in there. It's not the correct note. Okay, so this comes up sometimes. I'm not sure about that note. So what I'm doing, I'm mixing it. I'm also making the presets already for it on the console. And I'm going to mail Tom and Jacko about this. And, you know, let's see if they will correct it or not. Right now I'm listening through those wrong notes just to make the sound presets. Then they can make a new channel in the meantime. I won't be held back by them. So yeah, so I want these one together on one stereo pair of channels and this one on the other stereo pair, just grouped. And I also want to return them back into Pro Tools separately from each other, because I think I will be doing some small changes in volume when the whole track is done. So let's make a bassline channel for them and a bassline channel for them. So let's arm all those channels and then get started with the big beast. Okay, sorry for the change in image quality. I'm recording this with the webcam of my MacBook, so I can record over there, what I'm doing on the console. So sorry for that. Let's bypass everything. Let's zero out everything. So low frequency, mid frequency, high frequency, a low cut filter, high cut filter. This one has only got a low cut or high pass, low, mid, high. It's bypassable per frequency band. Also this one also bypass for the full EQ. Over here is routing for the subgroups, so the output routing. We've got the auxes over here and the faders over here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Subgroups, channel 1314. So let's start off with the kick, rerouting it to subgroup 1. This is subgroup 1 output. Let's turn it on. There it is. There's the other one. Oh, that one has got a build up in there. Okay. So let's focus on this one. Let's solo it. So in terms of EQ setting, first of all, this is the other one, of course. Okay, so if I cut it out over there, and what I can do is get the punch from this one, and a bit high from this one. So let's remove the high from the other. Another small problem, the kick isn't in phase. Listen to the difference. This and this. Much better. So let me explain what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm using one kick for the punch and the other one for the, the low frequency. So I'm really looking for, sound in this one and a feel in this one. So this is what I'm looking for now. Let's turn down the volume a bit. So it's in the green area on the screen. That's where things sound the best for me. So let's add the bass line, subgroup 3 and 4. Cool. Let's see what it does. So I'm looking for a bit of warmth in here, and you can find it around like 120 to 250 something. Well, in this one it's over there, as you can hear on the left channel. Maybe a bit too much. Next layer of bass. I'm still not completely happy with that kick. Right now I don't know what to do about it. So the best thing to do is move on. I never want to hang on one piece for too long, and most of the time if you move on, you will figure it out. Since we still have some channels left on the console, I'm also going to add another thing to it, and I think that will be... I'm adding that full layer, that the whole drop synth to it, so I can see what I can do together with the kick and that sound. Yeah. Difficult. Yeah. Let's first put it on the console and see what happens. It's on this channel over here, DZQs, and this is the fader for the channel. So put it up. I'm returning it with subgroup 7 and 8. 7 and 8. Oh, and let's put in the cables on the patch bay, of course. Patch it back and do it again. So this is it soloed. Okay. I'm getting a smile already, so I think I need to leave it with these settings. So what I'm going to do right now is record everything that's from the console or on the console. It's going back into Pro Tools, of course, into my setup, and I can record it back so I have it as audio. I can remove the old channels, and then the console is clear again. And normally I'm photographing the settings, but I have it on film, so I don't worry about it.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I had a small break. It's recorded back in Pro Tools, and right now I really want to know if I still like the sound of the track. So yeah, I'm starting to feel it. Yeah. What I do right now is the channels I send it to the console. I send to the console. I remove them, and I don't delete them. I make them inactive and I hide them. So now they're gone, and they are still in my tracks list. So let's make it smaller. I think it's time to work on the percussion. Oh wait, that's another bass line. Let's keep it over there. So cool. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send this, the groove. I'm going to send that to 7 and 8 on the console, and it will be coming back through 1 and 2 hi-hats, and I will combine them all through channel 2 on the console, and that will be coming back on subgroup 8, and the snares will come back on subgroup 5, and I will send them, let me see, they will both go to 9. So there they are. I make these choices in channel numbers on purpose. They are not logical at all. What I do is I'm going to patch that compressor over there, the Altec on the hi-hat, and maybe the audio and design compressor over there on the snare. and I need certain subgroups for that. Also, I'm using different channels on the console because my console has got different EQs on all the channels. So that's why I like to choose between those tastes of EQ. Yeah. And let's start with the hi-hat. What I need to do is patch it. On my patch base is always what is on top is output and on the bottom is input. So this is subgroup 8. I know it should be over there, but I still need into the input of the Altec, which is over here. I know that because I made it. And let's get another cable output from the Altec into input 8. There we go. Just fits. The only thing we can do with the Altec is turn on the power. There are no controls at all on it. It's just you put it in, and if you want more or less compression, you just lower the volume. So this is the channel EQ I'm using. This is the channel EQ from channel 2. Channel 1 doesn't have an EQ yet. And let me route it. Turn up the volume to, now route it to 8. I don't need lows in my hi-hat. Let's press play and solo. A bit mid in there. Nice, that's all. That's really all there is to the hi-hat. I like a bit of a dirty approach for hi-hat sounds. Let's move on to the groove and the snare, which will need a bit more work. So I've got this, the groove over here, and the snare is on this channel, which need to go to 5, which it is going to right now. There it is. Let's bypass everything at first. Let's mute the hi-hat for a bit. And so this is the so let's start with the snare. Low cut it. Give it some bottom and some like that. Let's zero out everything. So the kick you are hearing right now is from that groove, from this part over here. And I don't want it to interfere with my kick. Let's see what happens if I also turn on the kick. So let's low cut it, the kick in the groove. Yeah, no interference. Let's focus it a bit more on the mid. Cool. Yeah. So I was going to do this last baseline part thingy, and I'm routing it to 3 and 4, 3 and 4, and through 11 and 12 on the console. It's routed also. It's already routed. Only So exactly what I want. I want a groove. I want to have a groove going on, and I hope that it still connects with what I did. Yeah. Let's bounce it back into Pro Tools, so I have a clean console to work on all those melody lines. Yeah.
A few moments later.
Okay, there it is. Let's go on with the melodies. And first thing there are two build-ups. These two, building up to the drop, and I need to match them in order to make the connection with the drop with that sample. There's also a small reversed lead. Yeah, which belongs to this one. So this is actually one channel, or I see it as one channel. What I'm doing with these, I'm routing these to channel 3 and 4, and I'm returning it to subgroup 1 and 2. The, channel 3 and 4 have the same as channel 2 EQs, and those are Neumann mastering EQs, and I really need to do small and, you know, detailed adjustments on these sounds in order to connect it to the drop. That I need those EQs. What do we have over here? Okay, yeah, cool. This is the break part of the track. And I've got strings, which I want on channel 7 and 8. And I've also got the other one, which I want on channel 9 and 10. And I'm summing those together in a subgroup. Okay, cool. So let's first connect those that build-up to the drop. So what I'm doing, I'm looping half the build-up somewhere over here and a bit of drop, so I can hear time over time what I'm doing and if it's already connected or not. So a trick to do it is just listen to it. It's just, you know. Cool. So I think I've got that ready. I'm not sure if I need this part on the drop. I think it's only distracting, so let me remove it, and also over here. And what is it doing at start? Is it don't need it. Right, like that. Cool, so that's set. Then let's first do this Nexus thing. They belong together with the other one. So. This thing needs a small reverb, and I think I can do it with a Valhalla reverb. So aux Nexus verb. I always put verbs on pre-fader. let's add a reverb Valhalla. No, not the true verb. Not the... Fuck. Oh, annoying. Let's add the Valhalla. Yeah, like that. Okay, so that's a bit inspiring. Maybe I'm going to also automate something with that reverb, but that's something for the last phase. Right now it's making sound and making sure everything is there. Cool? And now the last part, which is that strings and breaks section. So yeah, let's do it. Not the best sample, but holy crap. That's not YouTube compression you are hearing, this is an MP3. Okay. Sounds awful. I'm going to put it far away in the mix so that people won't notice it, because I don't think I have another choice. Oh, damn it. It's out of phase also. It's completely out of phase. Completely out of phase. It's... what the heck? And phase reversing in Pro Tools is like, you know, split into mono, blah blah blah. Then you need to do this and this and this and invert. Where it was, there it is. Invert. Bam, and region by region, individual, clunk, there it is. Then you need to drag it back. Phase inverting one side of a channel in Pro Tools is way too difficult. Why? Well, because they are DigiDesign and they are awesome and they are great, and fuck them. Cool. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, so I think I have got it right now. Let's write this also back into Pro Tools. So now the analog part of the mix is done. After this, I'm going to balance everything, so listen really closely if everything is in balance, because I can still, you know, change the balance of everything. Maybe I'm also doing a small bit of EQing with a Pro Q FabFilter. don't think it's necessary. And then I'm going to master it. And then the track is done, I think. Yeah. So let's do the last few things before mastering it, which is the build-up noises. What I always do is I don't EQ them or put them on the console unless really needed. So I route them to the RH bus and make them the correct color. So we have an overview of them. Yes, correct. Let's move through them all. So we've got that build-up. In the start, it's a reverse reverb build-up. It's 4 different channels. So let's listen to them all. I'm doing this on my small next to. Okay, bit. Cool. Cool.
2 hours later.
Okay, I think I've got them. So I work in a little bit different way right now. I'm going to add the mastering to it, and then I'm doing the last thing in terms of leveling, because the mastering most of the time, you know, makes a big difference in the levels and where everything is at. So let's get started with the mastering. First of all, I use a Pro Q for, you know, cutting out the low frequencies. As you can see on the analyzer, not really necessary, but who knows. It's handy to have there, doesn't eat anything. Then, the most important thing in my mastering chain, the Pro multiband. Let's listen to the low band. I like to slam the low frequencies down a lot. To make it really compact. So the low mid band, pretty slow attack in order to get the punch from the kick through it. As you can hear, no attack, and we've got some attack, so let's also turn up the attack on the mid-high frequency band in order to get the claps more on top of it. So let's see where we are at. We are at 509. we are at 5.8 right now, 5.8, which is decent, not good enough. I think there's a bit too much sub low in there still. Maybe a bit too much of this also. And that shh is really annoying me. Oh damn. Maybe it's cool to also put the isotope on there. So dual limiting. Pretty cool, I think. Okay, so this is the point at which I stop. Not because I don't like it anymore, but because I like the sound right now, but I'm not 100% sure of it. And that's the point where I need to take a break, a long one actually. I'm back at the studio tomorrow to finish this track. This will be really like the last 1 or 2% of it. Then we'll see what I want to change, or maybe I'm already satisfied with it. But I need to listen to it with fresh ears, and that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. So that's where I'm going to cut through in this movie. So let's warp forward to tomorrow. It's the next day, and we start in the lounge. I didn't sleep that well, so let's start with a cup of coffee and then finish the track. So I thought about the track a little bit more during the evening and the night yesterday, which I always do when I'm working on something. The thing that really bothers me about this production is right now what I think is it's a bit too flat. But I need to hear it first again. But I think if there's something wrong, I think I can find it in maybe using a bit less master bus compression, but those are just my thoughts about it. I don't know. So let's get some coffee. Yeah. How do I look? So I've got my coffee over here. I've got the session over here. Okay, and now it's just a matter of listening to it. So, yeah, let me see. Big speakers from the start. And sit over here. And already after a small part I've come up with a change. I think it's... Yeah, this bass line is annoying me. Let me... I think it's just too loud. And also the percussion, this groove, I think it's the groove. And there's a bit too much mid in the master bus, so let me pull it down. Let me see what it is. Much better, much better. Still haven't fixed that legato thing, but so this part lacks a bit. Oh, okay. I don't know why I pulled it out yesterday, but right now I'm missing it. it needs a bit of extra. Let's move up. Okay, cool. I think that's it. Just some small corrections. I'm pretty happy with the master actually. It's not as flat as I thought. The kick is punching through it, and you know, it's a groovy track. It's not a it's not a banging track. It's a groovy track. So you also don't want to have too much kick in there. Okay, so let's compare this to their master. I think this is their master, like the one on top here, this one, because this is just a bit louder. So let's just. Theirs, and that's mine. So yeah, that's it. That's what I made of it in this session, and I'm going to send them the first listen version of this track. Then they can feedback on it, and then I will correct it. But I'm not going to put it in this video because I think it's long enough already. So. There it goes. It's bouncing, and it gives me some time to end the first video of the Beat of the Month winners. I want to thank you a lot for watching. If you made it through to the end, please make sure to share this video to everybody. Subscribe below on the subscribe button. Give a thumbs up so I know if I'm doing well or not. Give me some comments what you want to see more with questions. Also, if you think, well, I would have done it differently, also let me know, because I also really want to learn. So yeah, please keep a close look at my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/YTStudio. And next week we will start with a new Beat of the Month contest. You can win a mixing and mastering like this with a video and everything for free. So please keep a close look on that Facebook page. And for now, thanks for watching. Bye bye.